I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty, and you are now watching Crumb TV.
Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumb TV.
Now you are watching Crumb TV.
You can find me on Crumb TV.
You can catch me on Crumb TV.
This is Chief Kalanago here at Crumb TV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumb TV studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Crumb TV.
Welcome everyone to Crumb TV. I am your hostess for today, Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty. I have joining me today to speak on this topic of polygamy, conscious, and I have Indigenous Empress with me. I am going to ask, okay, Conscious, did you mute your mic? Could you unmute it for me? Thank you.
Okay,
I'm going to start out by asking Indigenous Empress to tell us all who you are and where we can find you. Gratitude.
I'm the Indigenous Empress, also known as Heather Bell. My email is hmbell69@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook under my name, Heather Bell. And Joy has my phone number. If anyone has any questions after the show, Joy can provide that, to the audience.
Gratitude. Thank you.
I'm also on Instagram under Indigenous Empress as well.
Okay, very good. And Conscious, if you would tell us all who you are and where we can find you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Pusey. I'm on Facebook. My spiritual handle is Conscious, so I do prefer to be called Conscious, please. You can find me on Facebook. Also, I run a company, Superb Botanicals. You can find us there, Superb Botanicals. It's spelled under there, under Etsy.com, and I have also superbbotanicals.com as well. And the email is m.pusey@superbbotanicals.com. We specialize in sea moss and elderberry and all that good natural stuff, herbal and holistic.
Gratitude. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So right now what I'm going to do is start with, we have our first responders. So I'm going to acknowledge them. Some of these people were way here early. Some people have been here since yesterday commenting. So let me see where, okay. I'm just going to go through here. Petey Greens from YouTube speaks peace to all. Very excited for this session. Gemini 9 from YouTube speaks peace. I see the Ashe. Yeo Africa from YouTube speaking peace and love family. Peace to you as well. We have Goli Goddess 617 Coke speaking Wagwan. Wagwan to you as well.
This is Jamaican. Wagwan.
Peace and love to the ancestors. We have another greeting, yes, and for Brother Crumb as well. So yeah, we appreciate everyone being here. What I want to do is I'm about to go to the 7 p.m. mark. So these are the first responders. That's when we went live. So we have Amber Gaucher speaking peace to my sister. I appreciate you being here. Rashard FMFP Ellis from YouTube speaking peace to the chat. And we have Dante Franklin from YouTube speaking peace. I see your Ashe as well, and love family. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We started a little late because of the weather, and a lot of you are aware of the weather in different areas. We may have some interruptions, so we're expecting to be able to work around that this evening. Now, I'm going to share how we got on this topic, and I'm going to share how we got on this topic. So originally, someone wanted to share this topic. A man wanted to share this topic on Crumb TV. He wanted to be on the panel with me. Crumb TV has decided that first we want to hear from the matriarchs. So we're going to hear from the matriarchs this evening, and then we'll hear from the patriarch later. So we are going to get started now. Here's how this is going to go. Indigenous Empress is going to speak first, and we are going to listen and take notes. Then, if we have a response, we will respond. And then, Conscious, she will be second in speaking. I am just here moderating. I am the hostess. So I will speak my piece, but I really don't have much to say. I like to hear from these matriarchs and their viewpoints because I've already shared on my platform how I feel about this topic. So I'd like for the matriarchs to speak tonight. That's what Crumb TV has for this evening for you all. So, Indigenous Empress, if you would take the floor, speak to us your views on polygamy, whatever it is you'd like to share, and we'll continue from there. Gratitude.
First, hello.
Okay. I'm not sure what's going. Michelle, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear. I just took it off mute because it was on mute.
Yeah, I had you on mute
But I
because
couldn't hear.
she was speaking. So it looks like
Yeah.
she jumped out. Okay, so we're going to
It was like
go
some
ahead.
difficulties or something going on. Is she?
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead. If you would share with us your experience and view you'd like to share on the topic of polygamy this evening.
Okay. Well, before I awakened, I like to say I was a zombie. Okay. I was asleep. But even if I was asleep, I always knew it was something different about our men. I felt genetically. And I'm talking about indigenous men, Black men, Hebrew men. You know, I'm going to use different terms because everyone's at different levels. But our Black and brown men, I always felt that they were inclined to be with more than one woman. I always had that that knowing of them, and it wasn't a reflection to me of the women that they're with, or per se, you know, a man could be with a woman and he might cheat on her, and it's not to say he doesn't love her, but I always had a knowledge. So when I became awakened in higher in my consciousness, I really was able to see things for what they really were. And I realized that this was our birthright, that our men from ancient times had more than one wife. They had multiple families. In Africa, they had 3, 4 wives, you know, and it was like a community-based type of situation. So I was very much exposed to it at the age of 15 when I met my husband. I met my husband when I was 15 years old, and we were just friends, but he was married and had his girlfriends living next door with him, you know. So it was kind of like intriguing to see that play out in real life. And to see that as he explained to me, it was always about community and nation building. So I was very much exposed to it from a very young age. And I agree with it. I really do. It's just it's a certain way it needs to be done. And I try to help. Me and my husband are spiritual relationship counselors, and I try to help others that want to have explore and experience, have a healthy experience, because a lot of people aren't going about it the right way. Did the sister come in?
Yes, she's here now. Indigenous Empress, do you have something to share in response to what Conscious has shared with us. Indigenous Empress, your video is still, and I'm not sure if we can hear you. Okay, so Michelle, if you would speak to us more about your experience with polygamy. And I know also you mentioned you've counseled people.
Yes.
In this could you tell us about some of the counseling experiences you've had with others and assisting them?
Okay. I had this one lady, she was a wife, and her husband came to her in the 9th inning, and I'll say 9th inning, probably 9-10 years. And he said, you know, this is something I'm interested in. I'm interested in polygamy. And it was very hard for her because when they got in the marriage, that was never something that was put on the table. And I always stress to people, it's always good to go in there with disclaimers. But as we explained to her, that he did not have knowledge of self when he got married to her. So when you know, some people get married in relationships when they are zombies. And then when they come into their higher self and realize, hey, you know, I am a god, or, you know, they come into their true self. That's when he came to her about it. It was very difficult for her. And she did agree with it. She did feel it was his birthright, but it was very difficult for her. And I just tried to provide, you know, some experiences and help to assist her along the way. But I try to let men know, it's really good to know yourself, because you don't want to get yourself like, you know, I don't get all biblical, but there's some things out the Bible that I definitely take to heart. There's a scripture that says, don't marry at the bloom of youth, because you really don't know yourself. You really don't, you may not know who you are, you know, before 25 years old. And a lot of people make all these commitments and then they go through an awakening and they're like, oh, I'm this person, or this is who I am. And, you know, then you're going to have to tell your partner and see how they adjust to the change. And sometimes we can't expect the woman to just accept it. And also a lot of men have put women in positions of ultimatums. If, you know, if this is who I am now, if you can't accept it, and they've been put in fair positions to, you know, accept it and experience it. And that's not what they're, you know, for. So I deal with different spectrums of polygamy, the duality, the not so great part of it in terms of, you know, some of the things that I've heard behind the scenes. But I still try to stick to the narrative of it. You know, it can be a really nice situation if it's done respectfully, righteously, properly, and a lot of communication. It can have its definitely benefits for polygamy.
Okay, Indigenous Empress, what would you like to share with us? Okay, you're not coming through. I see you and I can't hear you. Hold on. Okay, try now.
Do you want me to go back out and go back in?
You good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I can hear you now. Okay. I don't know if you heard the first part, but when I came into my situation, my husband.
Now
I can hear you.
Okay. When I first met my husband, I was unaware that there were 2 other wives. And this is the problem for me with polygyny when it comes to our men. When they want to multiply wives, sometimes they will have other wives and then side pieces. It's supposed to be about nation building. It's, you know, about you growing as a family and putting incomes together to make it easier, you know, to make ends meet. And a lot of times that's not perspective who's involved in is Israelite and concerned. Not saying all, but a lot of them have the mindset that the woman is supposed that a woman, according to them, biblically is supposed to do, but they can sit at home and play video games and not. Now, for me, that's just really wrong. That's not, for me, what a man is supposed to do. If I'm out working and making a living and taking care of the home, taking care of the kids, you should be doing the same right with me. And, so there are pros and cons to polygyny. And like I said, if it's done righteously and it's, done in truthfulness about everything, it can be a beautiful thing. But it's probably when the lies come in and people aren't being honest about how they truly feel. And I know for my situation, one of my sister wives, identically living under the same roof because we were all living together, it made life a living nightmare. So, so I just want to be honest and say, there are situations
Right.
where these type of situations and they're in a true hell. And it's because, someone's not being honest and they end up feeling trapped and they don't have anywhere else to go.
Wow. Yeah. So like polygamy survival, what you'd call it or something. Yeah, I heard you somewhat. You broke up quite a bit, but I did catch a good amount.
Yeah, I've heard so far. What I want to share is I hear like the men's viewpoint. What I heard her talk about how the men think that some men, well, the men with the wrong picture, they look at it as it's just for sex or to be able to have multiple partners with a valid reason. Can we talk about some of the issues that women have entering these relationships?
Joy, can I?
Because from the audience, I'm seeing some women are saying it's not their thing. It's not something they can get into.
Right.
So can we talk about some of the barriers that women have and some of the misconceptions that women have when it comes to polygamy? Michelle, if you would.
Okay, that's a great question. I know for me personally, I wanted to experience it. Even when I was having a hard time in the beginning, my husband was like, "We don't have to do this." And I'm like, "No, I want to do it. I wanted to transcend jealousy. I wanted to transcend possession. I'm a Scorpio, some people are in the signs, but I'm very possessive. I used to be very possessive. Like I own you, like you're my ownership. And I didn't like it. It was getting real ugly. After I awakened, those I guess lower trait behaviors, lower self behaviors didn't sit well with me. And I challenged myself. I try to challenge myself every day to be the higher version of myself. So I wanted to experience those things. So I gave him my blessing. And as I say, I was let him be poly in peace. I gave him my blessing because I did meet him that way. So we did have a time when we were monogamous, as well, when we were in Zombieland. But when we woke up, I realized how important it is. And he just likes the sister. He loves the sisterhood. He loves the community. It really brings out the best in him. And the women that he's dealt with, the issues that I've had or they had is they have a hard time wrapping their head around. They wanted to experience it, explore it, but they had a hard time wrapping their head around my position. Like they constantly questioned because of how I carry myself in a righteous manner. And they couldn't wrap it. Was hard for them. They would be like, they would try to overanalyze. So why does she share you? What, and I would let my husband know you're going to have to start dealing with women that are familiar in this lifestyle. it's one thing to, like they said, they came in and they wanted to, one of the young ladies, her father was a polygamist. So some women come into it thinking that they know, and then they get into it and they're like, ugh, I want my own man. You know, they get attached, and they can't fully wrap their head around me. And then they start going through something because they just don't understand it. It's like I become an anomaly. But this is, and I do get tired of explaining my stand on it. I get a little irritated about it because, you know, it's like, what do I have to prove? You know, you sleep with my husband, you know, I let you stay the night over the house, you know, we hang out, we talk, you know, what more can I give you to show you that I'm okay with this? I think what it is that they're not okay. And they're trying to see if I'm there, but I suffer in silence, and I worked through my issues myself when I had a hard time with it in the beginning. I feel like I got it now. I feel like, hey, you know, I got it, you know. And in the beginning, I still didn't project that upon them. I made sure that they didn't see that they didn't feel that they got the utmost respect when they came over. You know, like when one of my husband's ex-girlfriends, on her days off, I made sure he spent time with her because he's so busy with the business and this. And I'm like, listen, make time for her. You know, this is her day off. So I made sure that day was for her. Like that's her day. She works 6 days up. Give her day, you know. And you know, I guess, you know, all situations are different, but I went through a lot of different scenarios and things like that, but I don't regret it. I'm glad it has actually made me a better person, and I grew from it.
Thank you. That's informative. I appreciate that. Indigenous Empress, do you have something you'd like to share in response, or something you want to share different? I can't hear you real good. Are you?
Well, I will say this about polygyny.
Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You know, you know, is Michelle?
Yes, I'm here.
Or conscious. I want to piggyback on what she said. When it comes to the women, you can't be selfish to the man. And also when, you know, if you know that it's a wife's night with the husband, don't try to both time because you want time. You know, you can't do that, you know, and that was a problem in my situation as well.
Oh, wow.
I had a sister wife, which is the one I did not get along with. This is some of the things that she would do. And mind you, she was the eldest out of she was older than all of us. But she seemed to have the most problem. If she knew it was another sister's night with us, she would bogart his time with him. And sometimes doing and her
wow, I hate that.
And he caused a rift, you know, with us, the other wife, and myself, and the husband, because we would try to tell him what she was doing, and he didn't think that, you know, she was being malicious.
Wow.
When you know, so you, if you as a sister in that type of situation, you are, you know, you have to share him. And if you're not okay with that, I tell sisters all the time that, you know, even inquire about my situation, polygyny or it's for it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I hear like there's some bogarting going on in situations sometimes. And to me, it seems like if you go in a situation and you know it's a shared relationship, how do you go and want to be the only one? That's like nonsense. So that's violation to me.
Absolutely.
And really, I don't even know how that could even come up in the situation. So it's like that to me, like that person just wanted to come in and disrupt and cause havoc because they not happy in their life being in a monogamous relationship. They just want to go over on the poly side and cut up. And they actually sound like they need some self-help. They need to look into some knowledge of self, and they have a long way to go if they are expecting to be in a monogamous relationship or a polygamous relationship.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's one of the reasons that's going on in these comment sections and why I can't look at it myself. I'm going to speak on my personal status with this right now in this situation on polygamy. Me, myself, I would have to be the first wife. I would have to choose and select the women that come in. And that's just how it would have to be. I'm not about to get chose. You ain't about to choose me. You ain't about to select me. And I have, as a first wife, I don't even know how this goes, but I'm assuming I'm looking from outside in. I'd have to do some extreme homework on these sister wives that's coming in.
Yes.
First, I need a background check. I need to know if I need some mental health bills. I need to know that you are stable. I need to know where you came from. I need to know who your mama and your daddy is. I need to know who your people are.
That's a fact.
Seriously, because coming into the house, and we'll get into separate homes later, but even if it's a separate home and you sharing a man, anything that happens with him still affects each household.
Yes.
So it don't matter if you in a separate house or not, it's all a union, apparently.
Got to be evenly yoked. You have to have some common ground. Yep.
Yeah. So that would be unacceptable to me.
Yeah,
Michelle, could you talk to us about the importance of having different homes, different living environments?
Well, this one man told me it's not poly if if the man doesn't have all the women in one house. And I had to let him know that's not true. I said, because, some people like their space. And, there's some other social reasons that it should be that way, that a woman should have her own place. Every woman my husband dated, she had her own place. And I like it like that. He has not met, or we have not met anyone that I honestly feel is worthy to have brought into our home yet, and like you said, the screening, and I brought him someone before and he brought someone, to the fold. So we both, and he said to me recently, he said, you're going to have to do the picking because he said he's done with picking. So I said, okay. But that's very true. That's why there's poly rules, poly boundaries, and as me as the primary partner, there's rules to this lifestyle. And I like I said, I handle things righteously because I'm a righteous being. And I even had an issue with one of his people he was dealing with because she was not spiritual. She didn't even know what universal laws were. She was not even in our world. But I understood she was a soulmate and she was someone from his past, and that situation had to come full circle for closure. And I knew that. And I let it play out. I did not sabotage it. I did not dismiss it. If anything, I assisted him on having a healthy breakup because he was going to do it kind of nasty. And I was like, no, that's not how you handle things. You do things respect, and he was upset or whatever. I said, we don't do things like that. So, and they're still cool, no issues, but he was affected by it because you integrate the kids involved. And it's like, people don't realize that this is serious, especially when you have children. And it really affected him because he thought it was going somewhere, but it wasn't. And that's why you got to be very careful with this lifestyle. And I tell people, you got to do disclosures, let them know up front, listen, this is my lifestyle. this is what we expect. What do you expect? Do you really want to have this experience? I've met the woman I brought to him years ago. She said she was with her, but when she got into it, she got real jealous. Like when she got off work, she was coming in, I was getting ready to leave out the room and let them, because my husband has his own separate room or whatever. So she was coming in the room and she saw us laying down together, and I was getting up like, oh, you off work? Let me go in the room, whatever, give her time. And she totally flipped out. Like, she didn't show it, but she left. She couldn't handle it. And she admitted later that she was just too jealous, and she was questioning herself, how can I be jealous? This is his wife. She brought me to him. So there's been a lot of experiences that we've had that I can, oh my gosh. But it was kind of like, we explained to her, we understand, emotions get involved. Things, jealousy can be a normal emotion. It's just how you handle it. And she saw it wasn't for her, So I told my husband, from this point on, we're only dealing with seasoned women of poly, seasoned women who are seasoned, who are not going to be questioning my motives of why I'm so tired of that. But
that's part of that background check.
Yeah,
I could not go through ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, ex. I might as well just stay so-called monogamous and just deal with those exes and really not even deal with them then. But to invite someone in the home and into the bedroom areas, because for me, another issue I have is one reason why I am the way I am in a monogamous relationship, because I refuse to know that my man, well, he's not mine, but the man, my partner, is somewhere. I don't know what that woman got going on in her vaginal area. I don't know what she got going on in her pH levels. I don't know what she got going on, and she need doctors and STD checks. I don't need all that to me. So that would be an issue with me. That would be part of the background check for me, knowing what her health status is, because when people come into your space and you sharing even just the energy, like, for example, when my partner, he's into sports. When he comes home from a sport, he already know, go take a shower, because when people hook up, they ain't seen each other in a week, and they be like, oh, what's up, and they be patting on each other and hugging. No, go wash all that off. He already know, don't come touch me with all them people's energies on you. So I don't even know how to respond to him entering different sister wives, and then something didn't get washed properly. You want to enter that energy into me? No, it has to be some type of serious background checks, and there has to be some type of serious monitoring of what she doing when she ain't, because in the comment section, I seen somebody said, well, when you have polygamy, that stops the cheating and the lies. And no, it doesn't. There is a status in the polygamy culture where those people cheat. They go outside of the household. It don't stop just because you enter a polygamous relationship.
And that's
that's my views and issues on that. I'm a back because I done got heated. Indigenous Empress, you got something you want to share with us, Indigenous Empress, please?
You just spoke on where you said when the polygyny starts, the cheating and things stop. No, it does not. I left my household, and I have been going for about a year now. My husband and I have just really kind of started speaking to each other again, and I left for that very reason, because I found out that I first want to tell, I am inspector detector. I know when something is going on. My other sister wives, I don't know if they supported or just didn't care, but it mattered to me. Those, the reasons, because it's not safe. I don't know who you're dealing with, how you're operating with this person, and it just wasn't safe for me. So I had to leave. And I think it was also time for me to leave because I needed to kind of find my myself and search myself out and, you know, become the goddess that I needed to be. And I left, and I'm glad I did it. Now, you know, when it goes to living together or living separately, me personally, even though I know polygyny is about nation building and putting funds together, but it's when you have those different energies in one household, especially female energy, and we all know how us females can get down sometimes.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't deal with that. You can't. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm the type of female. I can't handle jealousy. I can't
Me
handle
too. Yep.
immaturity. I can't handle
Yep.
laziness. And if I constantly tell another grown that you need to clean the house, that's a
Yes.
problem.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And so it's point for me. You know, my husband wouldn't speak on, oh, y'all need to talk about it as sisters. No, you need to be a man and address all of us because you're the head of the household. So don't sit there and say, oh, you know, you all need to talk about it. No, this is something that we had talked about amongst each other a lot. But he didn't want to address it and never got solved. So it just got to a point for me. I got frustrated and I said, I can't deal with it anymore. I left. Now, do I feel that from me leaving and how our relationship is now, it's actually better now than it was when I was living in the house with the other two wives.
Oh wow. Yeah, maybe you needed that space, you know. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, I did. I had some personal issues that I had needed to deal with from my childhood that affected me in my adulthood.
Right.
So I think me leaving and working on it made me a better person. I'm a better person today than I was a year ago.
That's commendable. Can I say something real quick regarding the diseases? It's a prerequisite in our family that the woman gets tested. My stuff is on like my chart. You know, you could click the computer. It's told, you know, everything's clean. So she is required, and my husband, they do test together. And of course, if he's clean, I'm clean, but I still leave it accessible for them to see. All I got to do is click on there and all the diseases and everything's negative, you know. So that is a prerequisite for every woman he's dealt with, and they've all complied with no problem. They've all complied. So, you know, that wasn't so much an issue, but I've dealt with the jealousy. I dealt with jealousy. And I don't like jealousy because I work very hard to transcend mine. And if I do say I do have a little jealousy, they don't know it. They won't see it.
Can we go back and talk about the body types right quick, like the pH level? Because we talked about STDs, the pH level. So when the women, like, do they, you know, when we don't eat clean,
right,
our bodies do some different type, sometimes stank type stuff.
Right.
You know, how do y'all have like food health restrictions on?
Yes,
because that's nasty.
You see mine,
especially if I'm, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I got my
if you there and she eat McDonald's every day, that don't mix, that don't vibe.
Right. You see the apothecary right there. Yeah. Definitely that is a prerequisite for us. That's very important because we are still working on, you know, cleaning our diets every day and doing better with our health and stuff. So that is very important for us. And we haven't really came across of an issue with that. So that's, you know, it's been more, say, emotional, the emotional aspect of it. But we've been pretty fortunate in that aspect. And also we have a rule too, that say he used to have a night with one of his ladies on Monday, you know, you're not going to have sex with me on Tuesday. No, I also require spiritual baths as well. That's a spirit. That's actually one of his girlfriends. She kind of started having ugly energy, and I stopped actually having sex with my husband for a while, and I let him work. And I wasn't bitter or angry because it gives me time to work on myself and do womb and heart space healing and do other little healings that I'm doing on myself. So I didn't have an issue with 2 months of celibacy. That's nothing, you know. But when he came back, and I was like, I noticed her little energy rubbed off on him, which was how she was going through some stuff, and I brought it to his attention, and he acknowledged it, and he had to do some spiritual baths before we, reconsummated our situation. That's very important.
Okay.
Spiritual baths, cleansing, is very important. And just talking. You gotta be able to talk about this. A lot of people are very uncomfortable, but me and my husband have the most uncomfortable convos, and that's how I think we're able to do so good, because we have those real uncomfortable conversations. But I just want to share something real quick about.
Hold on. So speaking of sharing, right now we have people wondering if there's going to be a part 2. You want to, if we have a part 2, you can contact me. My information is below on the ticker. Actually, I'm going to change this so it'll be still. Contact me, and here's my email address as well. If you want to be on the part 2, contact me and we'll talk about it. We'll see what's possible and we'll make it happen if it's definitely that we can make it happen. And let's see, moving here, Indigenous Empress, do you have something you'd like to share in response?
I just want to, piggyback off of what, Michelle, that, energy. And I know for me to protect my energy, I had to do the exact same thing that Michelle was referring to, spiritual baths. I tapped into my day street learning about crystals and things. I would put my crystals around the tub, do my spiritual bath, sage myself.
Yeah.
Sage my surroundings, just to protect my energy. And I think after a while, and you've been with someone for a while, you can tell their energies and what energies is resonating with your soul and what energies are not. And I noticed, for myself, those were some of the things that I do for myself to make sure that I was okay being around these individuals.
Yeah, because it would be important for me. That energy thing is not nothing that I play with. I'm telling you, I've been a person for a long time, even before I was well on the level I am now of energies. I've always been a people, even before COVID. I need 6 feet. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Back in the day when I went to church and people want to come lay hands on you and pray for you and bless all of them, don't know. I'm good.
That's a fact.
I'm good. So yeah, energies are important. So what y'all go through and what y'all deal with in that environment and the relationship type you all are choosing, go ahead. I couldn't do it. If I did, I'm telling you, the restrictions would be so high, wouldn't nobody probably want to come in. Period. Now I know me and Michelle, we talked about children and how children are affected in these relationships, especially when you talk about things like ex-girlfriends and ex-sister wives and contracts and exit clauses. I rarely, like I shared with Michelle, I've not heard about children being affected until I talked with her in preparation for this show. Could you talk to us about the children and how they are affected? Because everybody talking about the man and he can't have more than one, and it ain't just about sex. Oh, this is about nation building. This is about growing relationships and extra income. Can we talk about the children? Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, yes, thank you. Well, this is a quick, funny story, but this is how my sons took it, because I would allow his girlfriends to come over or whatever, and stay. And it was snowing, and it was a lot of snow, and his girlfriend was getting ready to go to work. I had to leave for an appointment. So my husband asked my son to clean off my car. And my son came to me and he said, "Mom, look, I don't want you to think I'm being rude." But I told him I couldn't do it, because if he's going to have 2 women, that's his responsibility. And I don't want you to think I'm being rude, Mom. Any other time, I'll do it. But on this note, I can't do it, Mom. Because if he wants 2 women, he's going to have to brush off 2 cars. I thought that was so funny. I was like, you know what, dummies, you're right. He wants that lifestyle. You're absolutely right. And guess what he did? He cleaned off both cars.
Mm-hmm.
He had no choice. So my kids, both of my sons came to me and they're like, listen, I'm good with one woman. They are not interested in the lifestyle. They don't care. They're like, I'll take one. I'm good. So, that was their reaction to it. My husband's daughter, she's not fond of it. And I think because she's very close to her dad. And I do think it might be a little jealousy involved in that. But she doesn't like it at all. She doesn't like it. Even though it was very conducive for her because they were always going out. The other girlfriend always took them out and they always went places, eating, times I couldn't be there because I'm busy with my job and I run a business. So it was like she was always being treated good by the other girlfriend and she was being spoiled, but she really didn't like it. So it's good to address how the kids feel about it. Some kids might feel some type of way and some kids are born into it where it's natural. That's what they were born into. So that's kind of been my experience, but it is very important for the kids, to have a voice regarding the lifestyle and understand it. Because it's not about sex. It's about the community. Like my son got really close with my husband's ex-girlfriend's daughter. And they just called the other day to say happy birthday to my son. And they might go out this Saturday, they still have a connection with the kids. So it's hard to do that. And my husband says he doesn't ever want to bring kids in the fold like that and have that connection, and then a disconnect. It causes real pain. When him and his girlfriend broke up, her daughter was highly affected by that as well, by the split, the family split. So you just got to be very careful how you handle this and communicate with the kids.
Okay. Interesting. Indigenous Empress, you have something you'd like to share?
Yes. It goes with the kids. My daughter at the time I went into this, my daughter is older. You're only 26 in March. She doesn't understand the situation, and she actually thinks I'm crazy for doing it. But he has my type of situation. His 2 of his kids right now are, one's in college, the other one graduate high school and going to college. They understand this, so it doesn't bother them. I think with them, they want a harmonious situation between, the mothers and the sister wives that are living in the house. I think it's important to make sure when there is children around, that there is a empowerment. Kids are, watching everything. But I do remember one of the daughters of my husband saying that when she got older, this isn't the name though, because she sees the issues with it. And, and that's where it goes to honest about everything, in those type of situations and everybody getting along, because kids are not stupid. They see everything and everything. And even dissension, amongst the mothers, they're going to pick up. So, my thing, like I said at the very beginning, is everyone has to be in front of the kids so the kids are seeing what's going on. A lot of times that was, try not to, I would tell the other 2 sister wives to argue in front of the kids because they're seeing it. So if this is something that the kids, want to do, you got to make sure that you're the example for them to, and oh, this can work, but you have to, like I said, be able to communicate and be brutally honest about your feelings.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems
But
like
I will say
for
this,
the
like I said, polygyny is not for everyone. It isn't.
Right.
yeah, it would seem like for me, looking from my perspective and this background check that I keep mentioning, that the sister wives would already know how to handle situations if something would occur instead of the arguing as an option in front of the children. It seems like there would be this level, this
Right.
frequency that everyone that comes in would have as part of the contract. You would already know how to resolve issues and not be wanting to blast each other or just do all the type disruptive things. That's, to me, that's not nation building. They might as well be baby mamas.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, that's not, I don't see it being productive. If women can't come in and be an example throughout the relationship,
Right.
and conflict resolution is important. Sitting there arguing to the point to where you're concerned about the children is an issue.
Yes.
So again, we talk about the men and their issues and their outlook on polygamy, and the women have issues as well. And I think that it's good that we're addressing what comes up today, and women and how they conduct themselves with each other. Well, females, because women don't do that. Females and how they conduct themselves is what they do. So females shouldn't be included in a relationship where there's women at. There's women in the polygamous relationships. The females should not be included, and all of that should be part of the screening of the background check, and it should also be in the contracts that I hear that you all have. Speaking of the men and getting into, I'm gonna reference once more how this topic came up. So someone contacted me and wanted to speak on this. I have him now here in the studio, and I will ask him. He's going to visit with us for a moment or two, and then we're going to finish out the show with the matriarchs. But I would like for him to speak his piece on part one and introduce himself to everyone. If you would share with us who you are and where we can find you. Gratitude.
Peace and love, Royal Night. Let's take flight, baby. Let's take flight. It's Bronx. Some know me as Rain. Some know me as Rain Bronx. Hope all is well. Peace and love. Gratitude to Crumb TV. Gratitude to Joy. Gratitude to the queens. Peace and love, and the kings that y'all have as well. Peace to them.
Thank you. Now, would you share with us what it is primarily that you wanted to bring to the platform when we talked about sharing here on Crumb TV?
Okay. Well, it seems like you have different tiers. TIERS, different tiers of people. So you have different waves of people, because I've been in the as far as different groups for a significant amount of time. So you have different waves of people coming in. So you have people that's just coming out of religion. You know what I'm saying? So they're fresh out of that. You know what I mean? So whether it's the masculine energy involved or whether it's the feminine energy involved, they're just fresh out of the religion indoctrination mindset. So they're trying to hop. They haven't even mastered spirituality and knowledge itself yet, and they're trying to jump right into a divine love style. You know, I call it a love style or a love science, so to speak.
Okay.
So so you have that wave. Then you have then you have people that'll say, well, if you didn't work in a monogamous relationship, you shouldn't come in a polygamous relationship. But then at the same time, I'm in these groups and I see a lot of single women. So it would, if you say that, then it would lead me to believe, you know, you would have to add that up and connect that yourself. You see what I'm saying? Then you have you have women that are with, they're the masculine person in the relationship. Now, you have different tiers of that. You have women that have men that are bisexual. See, y'all haven't even touched this. You have women that have men that are bisexual. They know they bisexual, and they're trying to get other couples or other men for the man. So sometimes it don't be the woman that want two men. It be the man that want the man. See,
So
we
that'd
haven't even
be
touched
like
that.
brother husbands.
I don't know what that is, but okay. So now
No.
being that I've done security, I'm a RVer, and I see a lot of different things, and I have to stay in a lot of hotels. So you have the wave of women that don't know that their men are because I don't want to curse, because I don't know how raw you want me to be, so I'm gonna try to tone it down. They're having relations with prostitutes. They're having relations with cross dressers. You got men that are cross dressing part time. It's unfortunate. It really is. So my biggest thing is it's vital because of the honesty, and I saw the comment. It holds everybody accountable. Now, as far as the economic side, I'm gonna sprinkle on that a little bit. Now, economically, as a CEO mindset, now everybody's trying to figure out how do these other cultures of whoever do what they do generationally, whatever. Okay, they have a system of endurance. Then they have a code of conduct. So we often joke around and say, "Oh, well, the Mexicans can stay 50 in the house," but it's a plan in that, though. It's a plan in that. See, we're coming in starting off saying, "Oh, well, you supposed to have all the money," but this is not what the other cultures are doing, though. You see what I'm saying? They're saying, "Okay, well, for a year or two, Pablo, everybody, we're gonna have to absorb and just down our egos for about this year or two, stack this money, then we're gonna get the capital up." Then we're going to disperse. Okay, you got this house, you got this house, you got this house. Then we can do that. Let's build a capital up first. Or we can do this. We can build a capital up. Let's get some land. And now let's build a house. Let's build a house. Let's build a house. You see what I'm saying? So now we can actually control our environment as well. Control food sources. Now, I want to go to another thing. The trafficking, the pedophilia, I mean, it's so many ways you can go with this. It's crazy.
Right quick, your cord is causing audio disturbance when you speak.
My fault. I apologize.
Good. Go ahead.
As far as the need for homeschooling, as far as the need for you have a disparity in single women, the broken home thing. Then you have, unfortunately, more women than men as far as quality men. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about quality kings. You know what I mean? We're talking about kings now. Knowledge of self, different disciplines and things of that nature can cultivate multiple women easily. Now I often say, when people say, I'm a sprinkle on this, because I hear a lot of stuff, so I got to sprinkle on multiple things. I hear people say, well, the man need to come in with the money. Now, what? Now I'm gonna say two versions of this. The woman that want the man with the bag, what they say is the bag now. Usually the higher the bag, the more the requirements. He's gonna have weight requirements. He's gonna have you to look a certain way. He's gonna have certain things that he's probably gonna really, really be strict on in regiment wise. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, he may be faster to replace you if you're not as compliant, because he has the money to do so, because he has a more quantity of women. You see what I'm saying? Now, the other side of that, I know people feel certain ways about Brother Polite, but take the emotions out. I really researched his story. He was with his first wife when they was 12 and 13. Then he didn't have a job at first. We see the finished product. He didn't have a job at first. She challenged him to read. She challenged him to better his mindset. So before we can say a person needs to have a certain amount of money, they need to have a certain type of mind first.
Right.
So if they don't have a mind and a mental reality, they have to see what they're doing. That's the vision and the plan. So if they don't have that first, then they're gonna fuck up the money.
Right.
That's just what that is. So we see it from millionaires to people that's trying to climb the ladder. So now I'm gonna go to here. A lot of women are suffering with depression. A lot of women are suffering with suicide and different things because they're what we say. I make the struggle look good. I make such and such look good, but at the same time, it's wearing you out health wise. I call it the big mama syndrome. You giving out so much to everybody, the children, everybody, which is okay, but nobody's pouring substance back into you. Nobody's cultivating back into you. So I call it the big mama syndrome. So now as far as the young kings is coming up. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, far as the young kings is coming up and the queens too. Like Shahrazad Ali say, a lot of adults are not qualified to cultivate the children in a way where they can date in a way where it will be healthy. Do you see what I'm saying? So now it's like like she's saying, they're coming out ill prepared, and all they're seeing is like, unfortunately, what the music and the agenda is pushing, the more masculine of women and the more emasculine of men. Now they're doing it on a broader scale, and then they're doing it on micro scales. So this is unfortunate, but this is what it is. So now you're lacking the quality of men now. Okay. So now we didn't even get over to the prison system. So like I say, it's so much to go, and I would have to get all of it. So, okay. So unfortunately, unbeknownst to we saying diseases, let's talk about the women that's having relations with men that they don't know are with men.
That too.
And dirty women. So
in the monogamous relationships also.
So my thing is, now you have, unfortunately, I tell women, okay, this will save you, like Shahrazad Ali will say, this will save you a lot of stress and time, and you doing the pop-up and you doing the roll through and the slide through, it'll save you a lot of stress on your mind, honey. Now, they always say a man got to have a certain sex drive. Now, we don't talk about the power of the phallus, pause, no homo fellas, but we don't talk about the power of the phallus. We don't talk about how many women can't really keep up with the drive of that guy. Maybe he does have a high sex drive. Maybe he does eat properly. Maybe he is right in his act. And maybe he does have a drive that exceeds the monogamous expectation. You see what I'm saying? So now it's like, damn, okay, I don't want to cheat on her, but then maybe because you have men in this position, I don't want to cheat on her, but now I've stumbled upon this new thing. Oh, it's poly. It's this new thing I was doing called, I thought was cheating, because as a child, I had to attach myself to what everybody was saying. Everybody was saying the word cheating, right? So I had to look at whomever it is, granddaddy, daddy, mama, whoever, because my grandpappy, he was 72, but he always had his way with the women. So he had a younger woman. I remember this now, you know what I mean? So I was whatever I was, a little bambino at that point, time 8 or whatever. But I remember he had a younger woman, and he had my grandmother. And he invited the younger shorty over to Christmas and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't explained to me as it was polygamy or any other options. Okay. Now, most people, I want to sprinkle on this, the monogamy. The original reason for monogamy was for the rich to stay richer, for the wealthy to stay wealthy, for the passing on of property. Just like we saw in Coming to America, when that the king was going to have his son marry the other king daughter. You have to marry into royalty. That's what the original reason for monogamy was for. It wasn't for bachelorette parties. It wasn't for all this other stuff that people are doing that's commercialized. That's the commercialized version of monogamy. But the monogamy was for the passing on of wealth, assets, and for a certain lineage and bloodline to stay wealthy and thriving. You see what I'm saying? Now, most people that were of a non-wealth status, let's just say that, of a non-wealth status, they had to do things as a group, whether it was melanin, black, brown, whatever you consider yourself to be, kind of people, or Hispanic or whatever have you. But Hispanics, we've been seeing Hispanics do this. We always joke, but the Chinese had to tell them to stop having sex at one point because they were having too many children. But exactly. In Tanzania, I read an article maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. The president of Tanzania was asking people that were couples and single men to take more than one woman because it was 10 million more women than men. So now we have to say, okay, damn, I have to look over here and say, I look at Shahrazad Ali book, the you know, y'all know the book, y'all know the book I'm talking about. The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman. So I look at her description of the multiple tiers of women that you have to look at. So she started off with the lower, what we would call lower vibrational tier of women. So that's the prostitutes, that's the runaways, that's the throwaways, that's the misunderstood, the strayaways, the whatever they're doing. Okay, so it's hundreds of thousands of them. Now, a few of them can be cultivated, but it's like, okay, now we got to sift through, figure out who can be cultivated and who's just too far gone. Then you have women on the other polarity where they're very, what you would call the norm of successful materialistic wise, but they can't seem to master keeping the man, whether it's celebrity wise, right? We see a lot of these celebrity women going from different dude, like, damn, why the hell, you know, why such and such, or why they keep breaking up, getting back. So it's like, okay, so she not even mastering what she doing. You know what I mean? And I'm up here taking advice from a person that ain't really, okay, I want to be like Beyonce. Beyonce got cheated on.
Brother Rain, watch your cord.
My bad.
Watch your cord for me.
Oh, my bad. Beyonce got cheated on a lot. You know, they don't overstand that. So, and then, okay, I got to go to my brother Hirsch. My brother Hirsch say it's a stat out there to say, unfortunately, melanin men, brown, melanin, black, whatever you consider yourself to be, are dying earlier than, you know, our women. You know what I'm saying? Now we have to figure out what that is. Of course, that attributes to diet and different things. So we have to figure out what's going on with that. So, like I say, the polygyny will help women in so many different ways as far as the sisterhood. And I tell women on this side, if you say, hey, you, if a guy maybe he might bring up the topic, the first thing most women would say is, I don't fuck with women. I don't fuck with them women. I don't fuck with bitches. Or I got a bunch of male friends, or I don't really fuck with women like that. Like, a lot of women say this about other women. So I'm looking at the sisterhood like, okay, hold on. You're giving me this list of stuff to do. You're saying I should talk to you this way. I should respect you this way. I should carry you this way. But then when I'm asking you to build with another sister in whatever way, business, what you're saying, I don't fuck with women, or forget them women, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or you have dudes that's single. We talk about polyandry. You have dudes that's single, and you'll have women that'll say, I have male friends. Okay, that's polyandry. She's already dedicated to another man. I have Jesus. Okay, my bad.
Rain, right
My
quick.
bad.
We're gonna come back around. We're gonna see what the matriarchs have to say, if
Okay, I
anything,
apologize,
about
though.
what you have shared with us so far. You good. That's why I'm here. Indigenous Empress, do you have your mic muted?
I'm gonna mute my mic, y'all.
All right.
There you go. Okay, Indigenous Empress. Very good.
Yes.
Go ahead.
What, you want me to comment on what the brother was saying?
Yeah, do you have anything you want to share in regards to anything he said?
Not so much, you know, comment on what he said. If we're gonna,
Okay.
As polygyny is concerned, and our people, it's doable. But you have to have a certain mindset to be able to, you know, handle the poly life. And it's unfortunately, I can't say you got men that can handle polygyny, because you got some women that can't handle polygyny.
Right.
You can't be selfish in polygyny. That's one. You can't be a liar when you're in polygyny.
Exactly.
You can't be promiscuous when you're in polygyny. ironically enough, there's Caucasian people that are in this type of situation. I actually watched 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
One's on Netflix and one is on the Learning Channel, Wives. And, they're doing it and they're having the same exact problems, as far as sharing and things are concerned. So polygyny itself, like I said, there's pros to it, there's cons to it. I would say, for people that are doing it for building a family, and trying to put resources together to make things better for themselves, that's, what polygyny is supposed to be about. I think nowadays, that concept has gotten lost, and some people are doing it now just out of sheer lust. And that's not the mindset to have. That's not what it's about. It's not, how many people you can sleep with. It's not about that. I think the original intent of the podcast has got lost, and sadly, it's not working. I mean, I know for me, and even other people that I knew that were dealing in polygyny, and dealing with the poly life, they had issues. And those were, the issues that we talked about. Those were the same things. I think it's across the board. It's, and it ends up being where people aren't being faithful, people aren't being honest, and it messes up the dynamic. Or you don't talk about, or be having other children situation, or you're not going to have children, and those are the things that end up happening that cause problems.
Okay, very good. Excuse me, Conscious, do you have anything you'd like to share in regards to what Brother Rain has shared with us?
Well,
or would you like to speak on something else?
Well, as the brother said, I do agree. There's many variables to this lifestyle. I know he was talking about the men being bisexual. That's a whole different show, But someone said in the comment spread that they feel any man that is interested in polygamy, that he might be gay or bi. And I totally disagree with that. I just feel like I said, I feel for indigenous men and men who are awakened, knowing their true self. It's ingrained in their genetics. It's just, I can't speak for the white man. I don't know them. I just know our men. And the majority, don't get me wrong, someone said in the comment thread, oh, my man's good being monogamous. And I agree. There are some men who are that it's not for everyone. My sons are totally not interested in this. They look at it as a hassle. They don't look at it as a plus. They're like, they don't look at it that way. And it's not even, we've been, positive around them regarding it, but they're not for it. They don't like it. They don't like it for themselves. So I definitely, there's a lot of variables, and it's not a preference for anybody. But I know for me personally, I used to be arrogant regarding the lifestyle, and I used to make women who were monogamous, I think I used to make them feel, I had someone pull me to the side and talk to me about it. Because I used to say this lifestyle is for the gods and the goddesses, and I had to straighten my ego out, because I had to learn to respect monogamy and people who want to be monogamous. They're gods and goddesses too. But I think at the time when I was able to transcend what the ego or the jealousy, that I kind of not put monogamous women down, but I was trying to get them to embrace the lifestyle. And when they didn't, it was some, especially Hebrew women, a lot in that religious sector, they will judge a monogamous woman and say, oh, you're just jealous and insecure. You can't share your man. Yeah, I had to learn, you don't do that. I want to be compassionate towards, all lifestyles, actually. I'm not here to judge people. I'm trying not to, but I just want to put a little light onto this lifestyle. And also as a spiritual relationship counselor, me and my husband, we assist people. We assist couples who are struggling with it. I had this one lady who the man put on his wife that he wanted to be poly, started a relationship without his wife's approval. He was married for like 10 years. And then the lady was getting ready to move in with him, and the wife wasn't with it. She was very unhappy about it. And I was like asking the lady, like, are you really are going to go move in with this man? Even his wife's not approving of this, even though he's telling you it's okay. It's really not okay. I said, you're like imposing yourself on the primary partner who's not with that. Let them work that shit out first. And then once they work that out, because a man is a leader, right? In the word leader, Lead, put an H.
A man is the leader.
I put an H before the ER. Lead her. If you're really a lead her, you're going to lead her in a proper environment, in a healthy situation. If you truly are a leader.
Exactly.
You know, and this, like I said, I have not seen a lot of men that got that position, even in this lifestyle. They're coming up short. You know, my husband had a lot of learning to do, and I think he's doing great now. But he's fucked up too in the beginning. He really did. He did some, things that I totally was against. And I was like, listen, we got to get this. Let's get the poly rules and boundaries right. Let's get them established before, it's just.
Yeah. And for me, personally, when you spoke on the men being a leader and you put the H in there, so lead her, I totally agree with that. And that would be one of my issues with polygamy. Knowing a man that could lead her, and I don't know. So I'm curious about definitely if he'd be able to lead hers, the plural. So there's not many men that can lead a her, let alone the plural of hers. So I that would be a concern for me. Yes. And it is a concern for me. But that's just something I wanted to share right quick. Indigenous Empress, you have something for us? And is your mic muted, or did I do that? Okay, there you go.
That's so true.
No. I'm in total with what both you ladies just said. The money is not going to work, and that's the problem that I find is that there's a lot of men out there that can't lead. They're afraid to take control of situations. If you're coming into a point and you have that have been, quote unquote alpha female, and that alpha female can see that you're having a problem leading, you're going to have problems right then and there. Because
that's definitely a
problem. Yeah, because I'm an alpha female. I'm an alpha woman. And so I real quick see when people do not have leadership to the level, the standard to where they can lead me. That's one reason why, off topic maybe, I had to come out of workforce off the plantation, because people couldn't lead me. I had to go into business for myself. So it's not just in relationship with a man where I have leaders. I'm checking out people's lack of leadership skills. It's across the board with me. And I'd rather go solo on my own, as in business, than to have somebody insubordinate in someone of no superiority want to talk to me about some paperwork and quality and demands and goals for the quarter on the job. Don't talk to me and you can't even wash your garments properly. Don't talk to me about goals. You got some goals, and it's probably with that bottle of Tide in your laundry room. Get away from me. I got issues sometimes, y'all. You can't talk to me. You're not a leader. Go away. So lead her is one of those aspects for me that I would look at as well. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, I always teach my ladies this. If he's not a leader, and I implemented that H, listen, we got some talking to do. Why would you want him to have another woman or invite that into your life, especially if it's an ego-based relationship too. If I see ego, if I see any, I remember in the beginning when with my husband, I was just like watching for any ego or any, just watching that, because I'm very funny about stuff like that. This is some real shit. This is not about ego. It's not, because he gets a lot of attention from males. A lot of his friends, they want the lifestyle. He actually has a couple friends that are in it, but they're not even in it right. They started doing it right. Now they're back to lying and all types of stuff. So, they come to him for advice. And, I see a lot of ego-based sexual. It's just crazy. I don't like it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, Indigenous Empress, you have something for us?
But what I was going to say is, I think times too, we women are alpha females and we're used to leading. When you come into polygyny, sometimes you do have to sit there and say, you want this situation, try to take the lead. If you see that he's not doing it, and it's difficult, because it was very difficult for me, because I was raised by a father who basically, made me and not, depend on others for anything. So I've always had the mindset doing things separately and independently. So when you come together in a polygynous, household, you've been raised a certain way to be in it. It does come difficult, but I had to say to myself too, at the same time, Heather, you got to try to set man to lead, and I think a lot of times with he and I, our arguments would be that, because he felt like I was trying to control, situations. And of course I'm saying, oh no, I'm not. But then I just sit back and say, oh yes, I was. So again, when you are an alpha female and you're seeing somebody that's not taking the lead, of course you're going to pounce on that. But if you married, you got to sit there and say, you know what, I need to step back.
Okay. Right quick, I'm going to the comment section.
I know, I'm looking at the comments too.
Okay, right quick, and we're gonna make this brief. First of all, if you didn't know, let me get some names up here. Not that it matters, but my camera is out right now. I'm working on some things. I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate my humble brother Crumb Snatcher for allowing us to come on this platform and speak on this topic as he requested. We are streaming live on platforms, 6 of them. And right quick, I want to say, since we're talking about nation building, I want to ask everyone, if you would not mind, go, if you're on my platform, Facebook Joy Allen, YouTube The Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty, and there is a support section in the description, and it is in reference to Brother Ponder. Some of you know him as the Minister of Information, and we're speaking about nation building, and we cannot support each other individually, so I've yet to see how we can do this in a group setting. It would be great if you all, whoever, would not mind clicking on that link and supporting him. Look at what it is you're look at that link, check it out. I think that the support is necessary. You may disagree, and that's okay. So either way, I support our businesses. On my platform, you will see on my platform, if you go there on the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty, you will see I support us. So I have business expos for men and the women, because I support what we do. Now, going to the comments section, and I appreciate everyone who hears me out and goes and supports Brother Jacoby Ponder, aka Minister of Information. I applaud you. Gratitude. Now, comment section, 8:29. So this was like 3 minutes ago. Hirsch Dirk on Facebook. If you are speaking in reference to me, now I don't know who else you might be speaking to. I'll let those alpha females, and I got my air quotes, alpha females speak for themselves and address you in the comment section. And also as a reference, I am a moderator. At the same time, I am a hostess. I will kick you from this studio. I will ban you, block you from the Facebook you are watching from. I say I am an alpha female. I am an alpha female. Now, I do not lack discipline. Now, have you even checked out my platform? Because that's where you would begin to know who you speaking to.
That's a fact.
That's where you would begin to know who you speaking to. I do not lack discipline.
That's a fact.
And I do not lack femininity.
That's a fact, sister.
Now, what you lack is knowing who you talking to when you walk in the room. You better know your audience before you come over here, Hirsch Dirk. Now, back to the matriarchs, because we are speaking on polygamy. I would appreciate whoever would like to go on to let us continue with what we are speaking about. Gratitude.
He said bye.
Yeah. Bye. Man, I need my camera on. Goodbye, Hirsch.
He couldn't
Dirk.
take that heat, honey.
You ain't bringing no information, Hirsch Dirk. Hirsch Dirk, you know what? Hirsch Dirk, let me show you something right here. Here is my contact information. If you want to talk to me, we can talk. Right. When you bring some information that looks like it's in regards to me as a person, then we can look at that. But first of all, Mr. Information, you can't even speak to me and you don't know who you're talking to. So get yourself right. Knowledge of self is important. And then maybe you can come talk to me. You know what, Hirsch Dirk? People like you is the reason why people like me start our own business and leave the damn plantation. Go get you something somewhere else, Hirsch Dirk. Goodbye.
That's a fact.
Ain't no attitudes. You ain't got no facts. Just because you label it a fact does not make it a fact. Again, like I said, contact me. Get out the comment section. Go find yourself. All right, matriarchs, I appreciate y'all. Let's continue. Gratitude.
Oh wow.
Indigenous Empress, you have something you'd like to share at this time. I see her smiling.
Said all I needed to say on the topic of polygyny. You're either for it or against that. If you're contemplating it, I hope myself and Michelle gave you some quality information to make your decision if you want to delve into it or you're not. It is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Conscious, you have something you'd like to share with us.
Yes, if you're a jealous person, insecure person, and you're not interested in the community building, the sister-wife situation, don't get into it. Don't get into it. I mean, it's not for everyone, and it's no judgment against anyone who doesn't want to be in it. But if you want to explore or experience it, sometimes I encourage women to experience at one time. You can always back out, but experience it. Have an experience. Do your research, research the history of it, and always communicate. Just be honest. Be brutally honest. But it's just a lifestyle that I'm comfortable with. I can do poly and monogamy, but I'm more. Honestly, I made a comment to you yesterday that I could be the second wife, third wife, fourth wife. I can insert myself anywhere because I'm adjustable. I'm okay. I can play my position because I don't have to be in his face every day. I do my own job, my own life. And when my husband was off with dating and stuff, I took that time to really pour into me. I poured so much love into myself that the fear of him leaving, because in the beginning I had a fear of that, which I'm sure some women go through, that left. I literally poured so much love into me. I didn't care. It was like, oh, he's leaving a good thing then. Oh well. Okay.
Right.
I poured so much love into me, studying herbs, studying about, natural products, just the things that I like to do, and pouring so much love into me that it became less and less painful, in the beginning stages. Like I said, I chose to go through it because I wanted to have the experience. I just pour so much love into me that he just gives me an opportunity to love me more when he's gone. I don't make that opportunity to cry, oh, he's gone with her. No, I'm doing me, taking care of me, pouring that love into me. And I love it. I really do love it. I like the setup. It's not bad at all for me.
Okay. Now we are going to be ending this broadcast soon. So at this time, I'd like Indigenous Empress to start first and share with us anything you would like for us to know before we leave this evening, and also tell us all who you are and where we can find you once more.
I'm sorry. I just want to say for is religion, you have to do your due diligence as far as figuring everything is that you want from that situation. Once you figure it out what it is you want, especially as a man, you have to make sure that what you're wanting for your family setting when it comes to the children, how many wives that you want, you have to make sure that you're conveying that information to the woman that you're getting involved with, especially in your life. I've let her know that it's not just going to be just wives as well. If there's going to be children and everything involved, if you're already with someone and they cannot have children, all these things need to be discussed beforehand. And when you are bringing another partner, another wife into the situation, make sure that the wives get along. Because if they don't get along, there's going to be so many problems. And as a woman, if you're going to get into a polygynous situation, you make sure that you get all the information that you need to make sure you're going to be able to be happy in this type of situation. If there's anything that this man presents to you that makes you feel uncomfortable, do not put yourself in, you know what? Oh, I might be able to do that later on, or I might be able, I might feel uncomfortable now, but maybe that's something I could get used to. No, a reservation about whatever he spoke on in the very beginning, you're not like him. Once you're in that situation, and a lot of times that ends up being a problem, because then that problem very beginning gets magnified 10 times, and it just rears its ugly head in the marriage, and you having issues. So I just think everybody coming to that man, woman, and polygyny due diligence, and make sure that you're putting yourself in a situation that you're going to be happy with.
Thank you for sharing that. Also, once more, tell us all who you are and where we can find you.
I'm Heather Bell, aka Indigenous Empress. I'm on Facebook under Heather Bell. I'm on Instagram under Indigenous Empress. My email is hmbell69@gmail.com. And Sister Joy has my contact information if someone would like to give me a call with any questions.
Gratitude. And I appreciate you being here and sharing your experiences and your feedback and your time with us this evening. Gratitude. Now, Conscious, if you would share what you would like for us to know before we leave this evening, and then follow up with tell us all once more who you are and where we can find you.
Okay. Can I say something real quick one of the comments, she says, a lady says, you don't have to be insecure to want to share your man. Insecurity is irrelevant. I did share that early on the broadcast about monogamy and respect to monogamy, and I did touch on that. So I just wanted to touch on that. But my name is Michelle Pusey. You could find me on Facebook, Michelle Pusey. My spiritual handle is Conscious, and I'm from Superb Botanicals. Me and my husband created this wonderful holistic brand, this company, and he actually did the same thing for his girlfriend too, created a brand for her as well. So, you know, I remember you and Brother Crumb talking about relationships and the importance of building business. And this is what my husband has done for me. I got my own elderberry syrup. It's called Conscious's Elderberry Syrup. It has great reviews on superbbotanicals.etsy.com. I have amazing reviews on my products. The 102 sea moss gel, the 92. I have amazing reviews. And that's what this relationship is about. It's not just about poly. It's about building generational wealth and generational health. And he even did that for his girlfriend as well. She built her brand. And, you know, so when you're with someone, you're going to see the leader qualities. And that's what you look at. And if you don't see it, you back out. If they can't, he produced all the labels too. If they can't do something like that to help your brand and help you, guess what? Don't mess with it. Poly or monogamous. I won't advocate for it. You know, but I thank you guys for giving me this platform to express myself and this lifestyle. I'm on Facebook, Michelle Pusey. Call me Conscious. Superbbotanicals.etsy.com or superbbotanicals.com. So, and I want to thank Beta Israel. He said, I appreciate the queens across the board. All of you were very well read and informed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're just here to, you know, raise the consciousness of the conscious grid, help people, help women, help men, help ourselves. You know, this is what it's for. We got to communicate. And sometimes it's those uncomfy conversations that we got to touch on. And another thing, I always want to talk about a belief system. We all have different belief systems, but it's one thing to hate someone for their belief system. Hate them if they're causing harm to humanity and, you know, hurting someone based on their belief system. But be compassionate for one's belief system if it's not of yours and it causes no harm. Me being polygamous causes you no harm. It causes no harm. I'm not hurting people. I'm not killing people. I'm not forcing women to be in this union. It's all, you know, by free will. So let's be tolerant of people's belief system. Like Joy, you broke down some wonderful things for me on your stand, and you made me look at a different perspective that you have not seen men in this position of leadership in this poly yet, and you really opened my eyes to that. And I really thank you for opening my eyes to a different perspective. And this is what me and my husband need, and it all helps in our counseling of others and helping others through this transition. Whether monogamous, we take monogamous clients, polygamous clients. So, you know, we just we just do everything spiritually based. I just thank you guys so much, and Brother Crumb as well.
Gratitude. I appreciate you both being here again. I appreciate the chat and those who participated and they commented. They shared the video. They liked the video. I appreciate everyone and all efforts and energy that were put into this broadcast. The topic is polygamy. We are looking forward to doing a part 2. So stay tuned for that. And I'm going to leave you all the same way I came to you, in peace.
In peace. Peace.
Sign out. Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumb TV.
No, you are watching Crumb TV.
You can find me on Crumb TV.
You can catch me on Crumb TV.
This is Chief Kalanago here at Crumb TV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumb TV studio.
Honored to be on your program.